My name is Mark Rainsdon. I'm a therapist at 7 Stars. I specialize in teaching dialectical behavioral therapy. There is a difference between biologically, so the chemicals in our body, as well as the way that we take care of our body, and the social components, meaning how we maintain, keep, and build relationships. What the biosocial theory talks about is that there is 2 components that really build who we are and how we interact with the world. The biological side, which has to deal with how we take care of our bodies and the chemicals that we put into our bodies, but also the social side, which takes into account how we build, maintain, and interact with the social world that we live in. In DBT, one of the main aspects is the interpersonal skills, which consist of 3 main skills, which are called Dear Man, Give, and Fast. And so to understand this a little bit more, I'd like to go through those skills. The first skill is Dear Man. It stands for describe, express, assert, reinforce, mindful, appear confident, and negotiate. The reason why this is important is a lot of our students and a lot of the people that go through dialectical behavioral therapy have difficulty in appropriately asking for and receiving the things that they need. Some of the time they'll either not ask for things that they need and come into crisis because they aren't receiving things that they need or that they desire, or they go about it in a very ineffective way through manipulation or through lying. And so by breaking it down into these simple skills, what we hope is that they're able to better advocate for the needs and better advocate for how they can accomplish the things that they're needing to accomplish. The next skill is called Give. Once again, it's an acronym. It stands for gentle, interested, validate, and easygoing. This skill is one of the ones that I teach to my students quite frequently, as well as to a lot of the parents, because it is a simple way to break down just regular day-to-day communications. The one thing that I really stress with this is the validation, being able to validate the other person, what they're feeling and what they're saying. Because a lot of the time when we have communications with others, we just go and say what we want to say and try to get our point across without taking into account that there's another person on the end of the conversation. And so when I talk to parents and when I talk to students about Give, I stress that validation and talk to them about how what we consider to be full body listening, where you make eye contact and where you nod and say yes or say no, really helps the other person to understand that they're being heard and that you're actually wanting to come to an agreement rather than just get your point across. The other great aspect of Give is gentle, because a lot of the times we don't validate, we start to become aggressive in our communication. We start to argue, we start to yell, and sometimes even swear. And so I talk to students about ways that they can check themselves in being gentle, which would be the exact opposite of what I just talked about. And you have a calm demeanor. You're able to allow the other person to talk. And not only that, you're able to show that you're calm while you're going through it. The last main skill of the interpersonal skills of DBT is called FAST. It stands for be fair to yourself and others, apologize less or apologize more effectively, stick to your values, and be truthful. The best part about this that I really like for my students is the apologize less. A lot of the time when I explain that to them, they have a little bit of an issue in that they don't understand why I'm telling them not to apologize. And that's not at all what we're trying to say here. What we're trying to say is don't apologize for things that are out of your control or that you haven't done. A lot of the time people will apologize when they're asked to do something that they don't want to do. If someone asks them, do you want to go smoke or do you want to go drink? They'll say, I'm sorry, I don't do that. And so what we try to do is teach the students that you don't need to apologize for that. You're sticking true to your values. You're doing what you believe to be true. There's no need for apologizing. The main reason why we teach this is as you apologize more and more and more for things that you aren't doing wrong, you tend to get this demeanor, you tend to get this thought that you are in the wrong, that you're doing something that's ineffective or that's inappropriate. And as you do that more and more, when you look at the biopsychosocial model or the biosocial model, it starts to drag you down into feelings of depression, feelings of loneliness, feelings of regret and remorse, where those feelings really have no place, because what you're doing is sticking to what you believe in and sticking to what you know and what's going on. And so, just as a disclaimer, those are the three main skills of the interpersonal skills of DBT. But whenever we teach these to students, it's usually about an hour to 45 minutes worth of a group. And so if you have more questions about this, feel free to go and contact your child's therapist, or go look on YouTube or on the internet, and there's lots of resources to help you be able to understand and realize more about ways that you can work on your interpersonal skills, and also be able to role model those for your children that are here at Elevations.